Good day, everyone. Welcome to another video presentation on our subject law enforcement operations and planning with crime mapping. So now we are having here chapter 3, which is all about police patrol operations. So let us try to talk about this particular subject matter. So in here, let's try to review, or let's try to remind ourselves on what is all about crime prevention. So simply take note that the main or the core function of the police or the PNP is crime prevention. Okay, so all activities or all operations that are being conducted by the police or the PNP, it is its goal is for crime prevention. Okay, so simply crime prevention is also defined. Okay, it is defined as the anticipation, recognition, and assessment of the crime risk. Okay, and initiation of action to eliminate or reduce it. So based on the definition on the New York State Police naman ito. Okay, so which is true. So in order for us to prevent a crime, of course, we need to anticipate, okay, or we need to recognize or assess the area. That's why one way in order for us to anticipate, recognize, nandyan yung tinatawag natin, one of the activities of the police is conducting patrol, right? So with that, you can anticipate or recognize, and then at the same time, you can assess also what is going on in the area, and at the end, you will be able to initiate, or you will be able to create an action or a plan or an action plan to eliminate or reduce the crime. Okay, so that is simply what we that is simply or the basic definition that we could give or we could adapt, okay, in defining crime prevention. So that is the definition of the New York State Police. Okay, and we have here, so the PNP strategy and crime prevention. So it has three mechanisms. Okay, so the PNP adapted three mechanisms. So ano yung tatlo? Number one is police presence, and then number two is law enforcement, and then number three is police community partnership. So tatlo. Police presence, it talks about the visibility. And they believe, or it is believed, that police presence or itong visibility, okay, it is effective, okay, in deterring crimes, okay, or in deterring or in preventing the occurrence of crime, okay, or to prevent the people or those persons who are planning to commit crimes. Okay, so police presence, we can achieve that by patrolling. Okay, number one dyan, conducting patrol. Okay, so with that, makikita natin yung mga PNP personnel sa labas. So with that, it can create deterrent factor to those would-be criminals, and then at the same time, it also create, okay, the feeling dun sa mga tao, dun sa law-abiding citizens, the feeling of being secured, okay, or safe. Okay, and then we have here also law enforcement. Okay, as to the law enforcement, napakarami, almost all, okay, halos sa lahat ng batas, especially special laws natin, there is actually participation of the PNP. Okay, just like na lang sa RA 65, okay, RA 9165, or the Anti-Dangerous Drug Act. Okay, so with that, na-create ang PDEA, but hindi ibig sabihin na walang pakialam ang PNP doon. So napag-usapan natin last time, still there is the participation of the PNP in anti-illegal drugs. Okay, and not only on RA 9165, but also other laws that are being implemented or that is being stated here in our country. So they are also they are obliged to enforce all those laws, or they have participation. Okay, law enforcement. And then at the third one, okay, under strategy is police community partnership. Okay, so it's very important, especially in solving problems okay, in the community or in the society. Okay, without the participation of the community, I believe, okay, or maybe some of you or most of you will agree, the PNP will be useless, or the PNP will not be efficient. Okay, in what way? Okay, let's say in reporting crimes or in investigating crimes. So without the participation of the community, do you think the PNP can solve the crime? Okay, so the PNP not all the times can solve alone. Okay, crimes, it is needed, or the role of the community. Okay, yung magpa-interview sila, or they will give their knowledge, okay, especially yung mga naging witness. Okay, so without those, walang participation ng community dahil sa hindi maganda yung tingin nila sa PNP, wala silang tiwala, then with that, nothing will happen with the case. Okay, so it's very important also this police community partnership. So that's why in the operational support unit of the PNP, they have the so-called police community relationship group. Okay, so that is all about the mechanisms on the strategy of the PNP in crime prevention. Okay, take note of those. And then we have here, let's try to review the 3 elements of crime. So because in here we are going to talk about crime prevention and then police operations. Okay, so with that, the 3 elements of crime, if you remember, we have here the motive and then the opportunity, and then the last one is instrumentality, or in some books they define it as capability. Okay, so just simply for the motive, the intention that drives a person. Okay, so nandyan, maybe hatred, okay, maybe jealousy, okay, maybe anger or for vengeance. Okay, so those are the motive that usually a criminal have. That's why they were able to commit a crime. Okay, and then we have here the opportunity, just simply the circumstance that allows the criminal or the person to commit the crime. Okay, it's the chance. And then lastly, the instrumentality, the device used in committing a crime, or the capability. So nandyan, how did he able to, or this answers the how. Okay, how did he committed the crime? So with that, napakaraming ways. Okay, let's say in killing, in the crime of killing, nandyan, paggamit ng baril. Okay, the use of firearms, or the use of knife, okay, or other deadly weapons. Okay, so those are only the basic examples on under instrumentality. So just take note, in crime prevention, one of the ways in order for us to prevent a crime is to eliminate one of the elements, especially the opportunity. So na-discuss natin kanina yung police visibility. So tignan natin how can we relate these ones on the next pages or next slides natin. Okay, so nandito yung police presence na sinasabi natin, or kanina it's all about the police visibility. And then here we have also the so-called police presence. So when we say police presence, it does not only pertains to the presence of police officers, okay, or deployment of the police officers on the community. It's not only that. Okay, nandyan din, deployment of, take note the word physical, okay? Physical deployment. So, walang virtual dyan, ha? Okay, physical deployment. So, nandun talaga. Okay, physical deployment of police officers. Okay, hindi yung virtual or yung magmo-monitor ng CCTV, okay? Hindi ganun yung police presence, okay? So, physical deployment of police officers, not only that, patrol vehicles. Kaya later on, we are going to discuss the different methods of patrols. So, nandyan, mobile patrol, meron dyan foot patrol, and then marine, okay, or waterborne patrol. Okay, and other police equipment. So, that is, okay, so that is to assure, okay, or that is to make the public feel safe, and then that is also to create deterrent factors to the would-be criminals. Okay, so that is simply police presence. And take note, later on we are going to discuss also, okay, it's not simply by deploying, or kapag mag-deploy ka ng tao mo doon sa lugar is basta-basta mo na lang papapuntahin. Okay, you should have a purpose. Why did you deploy deploy those police officer on that area? Okay, why did you deploy mobile patrols on that area? There should always be a reason behind. Okay, not just simply trip mo lang na i-assign sila ngayon doon, or trip lang nilang magronda doon sa area na yan. Okay, that is not that should not be, okay, the thinking, okay, in conducting operations or police patrol. Okay, and then we have here also the popular term, the so-called police omnipresence. Police omnipresence. Okay, so what is all about this term? Okay, so it simply says here, deployment of mixed patrol operations. Okay, mixed patrol operations. So napakaraming klase ng patrol din, or patrol operations that we are going to have here later. Strategy. So nandyan, decoy patrol. Okay, nandyan din. Yung directed directed patrol, nandyan team policing, nandyan din yung tinatawag nila na strategic, okay, patrolling and others. So with that, we applying all those, okay, or those mixture of patrol operations, with that we can create, or we can say, that is police omnipresence. Okay, so when we say police omnipresence, okay, by the word omni, meaning it is a high, okay, it should, this pertains to the high police visibility. Okay, because we believe, or the PNP or the police believes, that high police visibility, it discourages criminals. Okay, so that is one of the theories, or that is the one that is believed. Okay, that's why it's really important. Police visibility in the public is very important. So that creates police omnipresence. Okay, deployment of mixed patrol operations. Okay, hindi lang foot patrol. Okay, you should need also to deploy, okay, mobile patrol. Kasi kapag foot patrol, merong advantage and merong disadvantages. So let's try to talk about that as we go on here. So we have been mentioning the so-called police patrols kanina pa. Okay, so let's try to know deeper what is all about this one. Okay, so police patrols, it's simply, okay, it says here, it is an indispensable component, okay, and function of the police departments. So take note of the word indispensable component. So pwede ba nating tanggalin ang patrol sa department or sa PNP? What do you think will happen to the PNP if walang patrol division? Okay, or walang patrol as a function of the PNP officers. So with that, that's why it was defined in here, indispensable component. Okay, so sino yung titingin, sinong mag-a-assess doon sa community kung ano yung nangyayari doon? And then one way for us to assess is yun nga, patrolling. Paano tayo makakapag-respond agad-agad sa mga emergencies pag merong nangyari sa community? So with that, kapag walang patrol, okay, maybe the PNP will not be that as efficient. So hindi pwedeng tanggalin ito. Okay? So pwede mo sigurong tanggalin yung ibang component, pero itong patrol division, it can't be. Okay? So it simply also says act of moving about in an area. Okay? Moving about on an area of police officers. Okay, so what is the purpose? As we have said a while ago, number one is for observation, okay, inspection, collaboration and prevention of crime, and provision of secured environment. Okay, so take note of that. And then we have here the goals and objectives of the patrol. It is summarized into 6 objectives or goals. So we have here number one is crime prevention. Okay, not only crime prevention but also criminal apprehension. Especially kapag meron tayong target or meron tayong identified criminals that should be apprehended. So with the aid or with the help of patrolling, okay, we can also, one of the goal of patrolling is also to find, okay, to detect those criminals and apprehend them. Okay, or kung merong nangyari, caught in the act. Okay, caught in the act, Then with that, the officers or the patrol, okay, with with police patrol, we were able to have there to respond and then apprehend those criminals immediately. Okay, and then another one is for law enforcement. Okay, law enforcement, especially kung minsan sa traffic din. Okay, so it's very much related here in the sixth one, traffic enforcement. So kung minsan yung mga nagpapatrol then they are obliged, okay, to look on the traffic, okay, or they are going to respond in cases of those traffic accidents, or kung meron mang violators. Okay, sometimes they are also aiding in those situations. And then with the other one is order maintenance. Order maintenance. So with that, if there is order maintenance, then it could help, okay, in crime prevention. Okay, and then with that, public services. So responding, patrol officers usually they are the best ones na makakapag-responde agad in times of needs, okay, ng public of police officers. Okay, so with that, those are the summarized goals and objectives of police patrol. And then we have here the so-called patrol operation. Okay, so it was said that patrol operation is the basic function of the police. It is the basic nung unang, or in the ancient times, or nung mga sinaunang police organization noon pa. Okay? So, anong unang-unang ginagawa nila doon? Or ano yung basic na ginagawa nila? Even military. So, simply patrolling. Patrolling on the area of responsibility, that's the most common. Okay? It is the basic function of the police, police, and then it forms the backbone of policy. So, why is it backbone of policy? Okay? So, with that, it supports, okay, this patrol operation supports the other department or the other unit. In what way? Okay, so with that, sa patrol kasi you can be able to observe what is going on the area, di ba? You will be able to assess what is going on in the community. So with that, you can create, or you can also aid, okay, let's say the investigation unit. Okay, you can help, or you can give information to the investigation unit on what they should do, or on maybe in creating a plan. Okay, or maybe you could aid in that, and you could give information to the police organization on what plan is best suited, or what program should be implemented para ma-solve or para ma-improve pa yung community, or in order to further prevent crime. Okay? So, katulad ng sa part ng ating katawan, di ba? Without the backbone, makakagalaw ba tayo? So, katulad din sa PNP organization. Without this, okay, without patrol operations, the police department, maybe, they can't move that well. Okay? So, kung wala kang backbone, hirap kang makakagalaw, di ba? Same as to the body of the human. And just like also with the functions, or with the structuring of the police organization. And then we have here, it denies opportunities to commit crimes. So that is number one. And reduce the risk of the citizens of becoming crime victims. So there is the feeling of security on the part of the community. Another one, it says here, involves responding. Okay, it also involves responding to calls for assistance and intervention. Especially yung mga cases ng snatching sa mga palengke, di ba? So with that, there is an easy, okay, or there is a fast response. Kapag nandun, merong police officer na nakadeploy dyan, so madali na lang siyang makakapag-responde in times na merong nangyari doon sa market or doon sa palengke. Okay, and then we have here, it also helped, okay, patrol operation, it also helped develop, okay, good rapport between the patrollers and then the community. Okay, so with that, since nakikita ng public yung police officers, And then one of the goal of the patrollers kasi is to create good rapport then with the community. So as we have mentioned a while ago, without the help of the community, maybe the police or the PNP, we can't be as that efficient. Okay, so there is always, the help or the participation of the community is really important. Okay, so now we have here the features of patrol. Okay, some of the features of patrol. So number one is, it says here, patrol is a way of interacting with a community. Okay, so in order to maximize, it says here, one of the things that was stated on the police operational manual. Okay, yes, police patrol. Okay, or PNP patrol planning. One of it, in order for you to, this is one of the main feature of patrol. Okay, interacting with the community. So with that, it should be, okay, that most police officers should be attached or should interact with the community in order for them to build a good rapport. So one technique is that it says here that to trim down the number of personnel performing office works, okay, by merging related functions and activities. So paano yun? Okay, katulad na lang ng let's say sa women's desk. Okay, so pwede mo namang i-merge yan with a child, okay, desk. Okay, so with that, malilesen mo or pag-merge mo yan, then at least meron ka pang manpower or meron ka pang remaining police officers that could go out, okay, conduct patrol, instead na nandun lang siya nakakulong dun sa opisina. Okay, so parang ganun yung ina-emphasize nila dito. So most of the time, it is really encouraged dun sa police officers na bigyang pansin, okay, is interaction, deployment of patrollers more or to maximize it. Okay, so that is number one. And then we have here, patrol duty is everybody's concern. So it is not only concern of the let's say those ones that are assigned in the patrol division, okay, but it is everybody's concern. All personnel of the police station nandun sa police station, okay, whether pero anyway, with that, meron naman na kanya-kanyang function or merong na-assigned task talaga, pero hindi ibig sabihin na kung ano yung na-assign lang sa'yo, yun yung gagawin mo totally. Okay, so sometimes there is really a need. Okay, kasi sinabi nga dyan, patrol duty is everybody's concern, especially kapag yan ay naka-red alert or maraming nangyayaring krimen doon sa lugar. So with that, there is a need to maximize the personnel who are being deployed in the community. So with that, all personnel, okay, the head of the department should at least ensure that all personnel in the police station must contribute to overall efforts, okay, and goals of station, especially in conducting patrol. So it says here, at least the police commissioned officers and or senior, okay, and senior police non-commissioned officers, they act as patrol supervisors. And who will act as patrollers? Okay, junior police non-commissioned officers or yung mga nasa lower rank. Okay, so nandyan magsisimula sa patrolman, okay, maybe until sergeant, okay, or staff sergeant. So with those senior police non-commissioned officers, they can also, in the absence of police commissioned officers, then this one, senior police non-commissioned officers, a master sergeant and others, so with that, they could act as patrol officers. And take note, hindi naman natin masasabi na ang mga police officers natin ay robot, okay? So kailangan din nila ng pahinga, so with that, we need this so-called rotation basis, okay, rotation. So rotation of duty, so pagkatapos ng isang grupo, then papalit naman yung iba, okay. So with that, that is for number 2. And then next one we have here, patrolling is an indispensable and specialized police units, okay, indispensable, hindi pwedeng matanggal yan, okay. And then it is also considered as specialized police units. It's very true, okay. So hindi basta-basta na dun sa sa pag-deploy mo ng police officers dun sa community is basta-basta mong i-assign kung sino-sino lang. Sometimes you should know your personnel. If you are if you are a head of an office, di ba? Okay, you should know your personnel. Kilalanin mo if they are suited. Okay? Suited for patrol. Okay? Or to conduct patrol. Baka mamaya yung tao mo pala is ano naman pala yan? Puro illegal yung ginagawa. Okay? Or puro yung attitude niya is hindi nababagay. Okay? Or the way he act is hindi nababagay to go or to conduct patrol or to be assigned in patrolling, then better not assign that person or better not deploy that person on those on patrol division or in to conduct patrol. Okay, but maybe you could try to train. I mean, with the PNP naman, okay, with the training of the PNP, they will ensure that all of those officers, okay, all police officers should be trained in a way that they should know how to deal with the community. Okay? Kasi ang mga patrollers natin, they serve as the ambassadors of the PNP. Okay? Or simply they represents the PNP as a whole. So kung ano yung nakitang ginagawa ng mga patrollers natin, kasi sila yung in contact with the with the community. So kung ano yung nakikita ng community dun sa mga tao na yun, okay? Ganun din yung magiging kita nila doon sa buong police organization. So, madudungisan yung police organization. So, hindi basta-basta ang personnel din. Or hindi basta-basta dapat ang pagpapatrol. So, there are some protocols or they should also, those police officers who are assigned on the patrol or in patrolling, they should act. Okay? Or they should watch carefully yung mga actions nila. Make sure that it can create a good image to the PNP, not to destroy the PNP organization. Okay, so that is how crucial it is. And then we have here, organize a lean and mean patrol unit. Okay, so as we have mentioned a while ago, patrol supervisors, they should instill values of discipline and cooperation. And then, of course, they should, with that, okay, if they were able to instill values and discipline and cooperation with their patrollers, okay, or with their team, then let's with that they can explain, okay, or they could create a good rapport with each other, and then that can create them or that could make them as one, hindi yung nag-aaway-away sila. Okay, so that is also very important as a role in the role of the patrol supervisor. Moving on, we have here the functions or the must-dos for the chief of police, okay, as he or she organizes the patrol. Okay, so we have here number 1, the chief or the COP must keep patrollers busy. So how he can do that? Okay, he should need to make sure that those patrollers or his patrollers, okay, should do all the lineup of things to do for the entire duration of their shift, or yung sinasabi nila, the must do's. Okay, so with that, meron sila din yung tinatawag na daily beat patrol activities. So nakasaad doon sa daily beat patrol activities na yun yung mga dapat nilang gawin for their entire duty. Okay, so yung mga ginagawa nila, nakaplano na yung mga yan. Okay, or meron na silang guide on what, or idea on what should they achieve or what they should do for the entire duration of their shift. Okay, and then with that, yung mga ginawa nila or the actions, okay, their actions, okay, there are the patrol activities that will be reflected, okay, on the so-called individual performance card, okay, or the IP card of the patrollers. So yan yung role ng COP to make sure that his patrollers or yung mga subordinates niya, they are doing their task, and then with that they are going also to assess them using this individual performance card. Okay, so that's the role of the COP as a supervisor. And then this is an example of the daily beat patrol activities. It's just a sample. So meron yung time dito, makikita nyo the time, and then kung ano yung specific activity na gagawin nila. So for this time, usually nag-start ang shift nila 8 o'clock, Okay? Pero most of the time nangyayari dyan is 7. Okay? Formation nila or with this, from 8:30 to 8:45 nandyan formation, check attendance, okay, and then others. And with that, from 8:45, they are going to be deployed already with the specific area. So nandito, they will start at the new market, okay? And then at this time also, by 9 o'clock, they are going to conduct patrol or sita and police inspection, visitation, and others to the areas. So it's just a sample. So depende rin sa area ng depende rin sa area. Or depende sa lugar. So ito yung isa sa dapat ihanda or dapat ilagay nila or isaalang-alang nila in creating or in making this daily beat patrol. Okay? So that is only part of the COP. And then with that, we have here now the next part. The next must do or yes, must do of the chief of police. So number 2 here is make patrollers responsible and accountable. Okay, so he will be dividing the duties, and also patroller will be made accountable on whatever happens in his or her assigned beat. Okay, so mananagot yung patroller. Okay, so he has the responsibility to answer, okay, answer or to talk with the COP, okay, siya yung mag-explain sa COP kung bakit ganun yung nangyari dun sa assigned beat niya, okay, and then be made answerable and accountable for the, to the patrol supervisor, or in other words, the chief of police. Okay, so as a patroller, you should make sure na yung area mo, they should be at least you should be able to at least maintain peace and order in your area, or else palagi kang patatawag ni patrol supervisor or ni COP. So with that, hindi magiging maganda sa pangalan mo yan. Okay? As to the third function or the must do of the chief of police as a patrol supervisor is put the right person in the right job. So basic rules or basic things that must be considered by a supervisor, okay, in deploying his subordinates. So alangan naman na ipupunta mo doon yung makakasira sa image ng PNP. So you should make sure that that person that you are going to assign to that particular task is magagawa niya or makakapagbigay ng magandang output, okay, para sa PNP organization. So anyway, as we have mentioned a while ago, the trainings or most of the trainings ng PNP naman, it involves to train those police officers to be suited in dealing with the public, okay, or in dealing with the community. Okay, so with that, it gives, or this chance, or this task, it gives the police officer also a chance to, or an opportunity to develop themselves, okay, especially in dealing with the community or socialization skills nila. Socialization skills of those police officers. Okay, and then with that, those are the common or the must-dos that should be considered by a chief of police. And next, we have here the police visibility patrols, or in other words, oplan laging handa of the PNP. Okay, so it is in conducting this kind of operations, they are going to divide, they have here the so-called mobile detachment. Simply, this mobile detachment, it is the mobile foot patrol team, okay, mobile patrol team, okay, manning a control point and 2 to 6 visibility points in the assigned AOR, okay, assigned area of responsibility. Okay, so ano ba yung control, ano ba yung control point na ito? So itong control point naman na ito, it is the centrally located post. So nandyan yung team leader and then crew, okay, let's say sa communication or the central, okay, or those or the radio operators, okay, para ma-coordinate nila lahat ng mga nandun sa mobile detachment, and then at the same time yung nandun sa 2 to 6 body foot patrol. Okay, so that is for the control point. Just take note of that. Nandyan yung team leader ng patrol team. Okay, and then with that, the visibility point, ito naman yung mga tao. So, kung sa mobile detachment, sila yung umiikot dun sa area na nakasakay, okay, or conducting patrol on mobile or using the mobile, police mobile. Ito namang visibility point. In other words, we refer it to the vantage spot adjacent to on either side of the control point being used by a body foot patrol. So ito naman yung parang route, okay, or ito yung binabantayan, okay, or yung naka-assign naman for those ones or for those personnel who were on foot patrol. So usually sa pagpapatrol, body-body system yan. So hindi pwedeng mag-isa lang. Dapat body-body yan. So kung mapapansin nyo, pag nagpapatrol yung mga police officers na yan, natin, it's either on 2 or kung minsan 3, 4 or 6. Okay, but pinaka-basic dyan is or pinaka-common dyan is body foot patrol or tigda dalawa. Okay, so as to show, to further elaborate it, so nandito tayo ngayon nandito yung illustration natin. So as we have mentioned a while ago, the control point, it is composed of the team leader and then the crew. Okay, nandyan yung assigned sa radio. Okay, nandyan yung assigned sa, let's say, sa map. Okay, or sa crime map nila, or it's either on the computer. So sa mga technicals, in order to coordinate lahat-lahat ng kasama nila na naka-deploy. So with that, ito naman yung mobile detachment. So ito yung ginagalawan naman ng mga yung mobile mga team members na naka-assign or ongoing na nag-iikot using the mobile. So mas malawak yung area na cover nila. So paikot-ikot, ito yung iniikutan nila. So it is the overall area of responsibility. And with that, yung visibility points, it's either in this one, okay, on these sides. So nandyan naman yung mga patrol officers, okay, on foot, yung mga naglalakad. So kung mapapansin nyo on the illustration, with that, just in case merong nangyari sa area na to, or let's say dito, merong nangyari. So kung mapapansin niyo, madali yung pag-responde. So nandyan yung mobile detachment na umiikot, so madaling makakapag-back up sila dito just in case merong nangyari dito sa area na to. Okay, or kung merong nangyari dito sa area na to, then at least pwedeng rumisponde ito agad-agad. Pwede rin rumisponde agad-agad naman ito. So that is the essence, or that is the point on this so-called operation of the PNP or the Uplan Laging Handa na ito. Okay? So ganun din sa baba, merong nangyari dito. So at least meron tong dalawa, they can respond immediately. So depende sa kung sino yung mas malapit. So ito yung parang brain. Okay, kung mapapansin nyo, yung utak, brain. So iraradyo nandito, iraradyo nila dito, and then sila naman, i-assist nila kung meron silang visibility dito, meron silang camera or CCTV cameras and others, then at least ma-respondan or matutulungan nila yung mga naka-assign dito. Okay, so that is the one that we are pertaining to on that operation Laging Handa. Okay, and then we have here the so-called methods of patrol. So as we have mentioned a while ago, meron tayong napakaraming methods of patrol. So it is the means used under favorable conditions. So bawat klase or methods kasi merong advantage and merong disadvantage. Okay, so meron yung applicable, meron din yung hindi applicable sa different situations, okay, or in different situations. So it is for us, okay, to provide the most effective utilization of available personnel, logistics, and funds to render police visibility. That's why we should need to know, okay, what are the advantages and what are the disadvantages, or what is the most applicable methods of patrol. So that is not for us to waste our resources. Okay, so let's try to look on it one by one. So nandito, number 1 is the foot patrol. Okay, so foot patrol simply Okay, these are personnels who are assigned, okay, to conduct patrol on foot. Okay, and non-vehicular patrol yan. Okay, so saan ba ginagamit or saan ba ina-apply to usually? So, it is conducted in heavily populated areas. Natural naman, alangan nagagamit ka ng sasakyan, napakaraming tao doon. So, syempre hindi mo yan magagawa. Hindi mo magagamit ang sasakyan dyan. Kung motor, pwede pa siguro, pero it is not the best applicable method of patrol. Okay? Such as, pwede rin sa public places na hindi pwede ang sasakyan, hindi pwede ang motor, hindi pwede ang bisikleta. So, an example sa mga markets, okay? Churches, schools, transport terminals, amusement places, and shopping malls. So, with that, hindi applicable yung ibang kinds of patrol here. So, pinaka-best is foot patrol. So, that is one way, that is the most effective, okay, in conducting in such areas na katulad ng nabanggit natin. So, ano ba yung advantages niyan? So, number one is provides the patrol officers, okay, familiarity. Familiarity on the ground and better observational, okay, identification and solution to peace and order concerns in their beat. Okay, or doon sa area of responsibility nila. So, kapag ikaw ay nakasakay sa sasakyan, let's say sa mobile, okay, you are conducting patrol and you are on mobile, okay, so makikita mo ba or mas mapafamiliarize mo ba yung area ng maigi? Kung minsan, hindi. Kasi, di ba, as you drive, nakatutok ka lang din sa kalsada. If you are the driver. No? Pero na lang, kung yung isa din, kasi sa mobile din, it is composed of body-body system yan. Okay? So with that, pwedeng mag-observe yung isa and nagmamaneho. Pero with that, mas mabilis yung takbo, di ba? Pero anyway, merong specified, okay? Which is the required, okay, or yung sinasabi nila na dapat natakbo mo if you are conducting on mobile is 20 to 25 kilometers per hour. So, hindi dapat lalagpas yun. So, with that, at least para mabigyan ng chance na ma-observe mo yung nangyari talaga sa area mo. Hindi yung pabilisan yan. Pero on foot patrol, mas ma-observe mo yan kasi in contact ka talaga dun sa area or in contact ka dun sa community. Di ba? Mas mapafamiliarize mo yung area. Okay? Makikita mo yung bawat sulok, makikita mo yung bawat iskinita. So that is the advantage of foot patrol. So makakapag-observe ka ng maigi. And aside from that, okay, enables patrol officers to establish and maintain favorable relationship to or with the community. Kasi nga nasabi natin kanina, in contact siya. In contact ka kapag ikaw ay on foot. Unlike dun sa nakasakay ka or you are in mobile, so walang hindi ka indirect contact dun sa mga tao. So hindi mo sila makakausap, hindi mo sila socialize, okay? So that makes with the foot patrol, that makes us that makes it as an advantage, okay? And then another one, patrol officers are able to more readily detect situations, okay, which require police action. So unlike dun sa mobile patrol, minsan hindi mo namamalayan, meron palang nangyayari dun sa area, nakasakay kayo, hindi nyo napansin agad. Unlike dito sa foot patrol, okay, kapag ikaw ay naglalakad and then meron naka-in contact ka talaga dun sa area, okay, and slow lang yung movement mo or you are alert, then at least you will be able to detect situation and then makakapag-respond ka agad. So that makes us that could be an advantage of foot patrol. Okay, and then another advantage is they will be able to, okay, with this foot patrol, you can be able to develop excellent sources of information. Okay, kasi nga nasabi natin kanina, you are in contact with the community. So makakakilala ka ng mga tao doon. Okay, makakausap mo yung mga tao doon. So with that, pwede kang makaka-build ng mga informant mo. Okay, mga informers mo. Okay, with regards to detection and investigation or intervention in criminal activities. So that is one advantage also. And then with that, as to the disadvantages, di ba? If you are conducting patrol, sa isang araw ang makakover mo lang is medyo maliit na lugar. Siyempre, kapag maglalakad ka lang, di ba? Napakaliit ng maiikutan mo. So that is the time you can use also mobile patrol, di ba? Para makakover ka ng wider area. So that is one at disadvantage naman ng foot patrol. Okay, so let's try to look on the foot patrol sub-team. So ano ba yung dapat composition yan? Or dapat on the so-called foot patrol sub-team. So number 1 there, foot patrol of 2 personnel each shall conduct beat patrol equipped with portable, okay, and handheld radio set hand, okay, or radio with that para magamit nila, okay, in reporting. So that is purposely to disseminate or to report immediately with the technical operating unit, okay, of their station para may disseminate sa lahat ng personnel, then at least backup ay mapapabilis, okay, and with appropriate firearms. So with that, meron naman yung yan yung assigned firearms to the police personnel or issued firearms to them. And then we have here the body system. So hindi pwedeng mag-isa ka lang. You should be always be accompanied by accompanied by a fellow personnel. So at least dalawa kayo. So baka mamaya pag mag-isa mo, pagtitripan ka ng mga criminals dyan, especially organized crime group. So it is a need that at least body system should be observed. So, just in case merong mangyari sa inyo, then at least meron kang katulungan. Or kung merong namatay sa inyo, then at least merong mag-report sa station ninyo, calling for backup. Another one, any incident should immediately be reported to the mobile sub-team for information and disposition. Okay, so katulungan ng foot patrol sub-team ang mobile sub-team. Okay, so itatawag nila agad sa mobile sub-team or sa station. So that could be, okay, sila yung makakapag-respond agad kasi on mobile sila. Okay, so that is also protocol or that must be taken into consideration by the foot patrol sub-team. Okay, and then we have here must establish good rapport with residents, okay, especially barangay officials and workers. Okay, sila yung mas nakakalam dun sa area nila. Unless ikaw ay taga ron doon. Or hometown mo yung na-assignan mo or na-destinuhan mo. Okay, but most of the time, police officers, they are assigned in different or in a place wherein hindi nila hometown. Okay, so with that, you should take or maintain good rapport with barangay officials or residents or workers in that area, and then must establish information nets. Okay, so makakuha ka sana ng at least mga informers and informants mo. Okay, and next one we have here the so-called chief of police should do. Okay, again, says here conduct frequent inspection, okay, of mobile detachment and foot patrol team. Okay, frequent inspection. So hindi lang nauupo si COP dyan. So talagang babantayan mo rin if you will be chief of police, okay, of a certain municipal police station or maybe a police station in the future, then you should take a look or take this into consideration. Frequent inspection, check and ensure that proper posting and relief are properly followed. Conduct tests to promote operational readiness. Conduct tests. So that depends also on the chief of police if he will be conducting this one, and then it should be done. That is to promote operational readiness to his patrollers, and then identify the best and worst among units and personnel. Okay, so you should identify the best. Okay, so titignan mo kung ano yung magandang ginagawa nila. Okay, but not only yung magagandang ginagawa nila. It's very important also for you to identify yung worst practices nila, and then you should caution them and then give them warning, and then you should encourage them to change those worst actions or worst practices. So now we are going to have here mobile patrol, okay, conducted through the use of land-based vehicles, mobile patrol. So merong klase din ang mobile patrol. So anong una dyan? It's motorcycle patrol. Okay, so pag sinabing mobile patrol, hindi lang tinutukoy natin dyan is yung 4 wheels. Okay, so nandyan under mobile patrol, we have here the so-called motorcycle patrol. So 2 wheels, primarily used in conducting operations against the motorcycle riding criminals, okay, and those perpetrating street crimes. So napaka applicable ito in apprehension. Okay, and used for traffic management and for security escorts. So ito yung common na na-observe natin sometimes. Okay, they serve as escorts in for those higher ranking officials or maybe some VIPs. Okay, so with that, another one is this serves as one of the advantage of it, motorcycle patrol, the so-called high mobility of motorcycle patrols even in traffic congested areas, which is very true. So pwedeng sisingit-singit lang dyan, okay, and it's really a good way, or it's really applicable in apprehension and sometimes in responding public emergencies or responding radio calls, maybe backup, okay, in giving or rendering backup to fellow patrollers. So that is one advantage. And then for as to the disadvantage naman ng motorcycle patrol, di ba, nawawala dyan yung protection. Okay, parang walang protection dyan walang protection yung police officers. Sometimes na-involve sila sa accidents. Okay, so sometimes din kapag mainit yung panahon, wala silang protection. Okay, or naiinitan sila or naaarawan sila. And then kung umuulan, hindi applicable din dyan, di ba? Or medyo hindi applicable yung motorcycle patrol. Hindi sila hindi sila nasisilungan. Okay? So with that, merong talagang advantage, merong disadvantage ang bawat methods of patrol. Okay? So as to the advantage, meron din naman, or napakarami, especially in criminal apprehension talaga ang motorcycle patrol. Another one is bicycle patrol. Okay, so it enabled the police to patrol remote streets and narrow pathways na hindi kayang pasukin ng motorcycle patrol or hindi kayang pasukin ng automobile. Okay, so it provides speed, mobility, and flexibility. So aside from that, one advantage of it is makatipid with the use of gas, and then it provides alternative promoting physical fitness to those police officers in it. Okay, so it serves as their exercising activity. Well, anyway, ang disadvantage naman ito is limited application lang yan. Limited applications. So hindi na ma-cover ang napakalawak na area. So hindi mo siya magagamit sa loob ng mall, hindi mo siya magagamit sa mga marketplace na masyadong matao. Okay? So that's why meron yung foot patrol natin. Pero sa area, sa mga park, pwede nating magamit to. Sa mga sidewalks, pwede rin itong bicycle, di ba? Para mas makita natin sa mga parks. Common sa mga parks na ito, magagamit ang bicycle patrol. So it covers a wider area. Okay, and then sa mga bahay-bahay na magkakadikit, so pwede nating magamit to. Sometimes it creates surprise din sa mga criminals. Okay, kasi walang ingay na nakakreate ang bicycle, di ba? Walang engine na nagpo-produce ng ingay. So with that, it could leads to surprise apprehension of those criminals. And then another one, under the mobile patrol, meron yung tinatawag natin naman na automobile patrol. Okay? So usually these are marked police car equipped with two-way radio, and then merong blinkers and siren and used for covering. Okay? So ito yung sinabi natin kanina. Advantage of automobile, covering a wider area. Okay? And carrying equipment and personnel. So take note, sa takbo rin pala, okay? Sa takbo rin pala ng automobile, at least you should at least run 20 kilometers per hour. Okay, hindi ka dapat lalagpas niyan. 20 kilometers per hour, but in some book, they say 20 to 25 kilometers. Pero at least 20 kilometers per hour ang dapat. Yan ay for you to be able to observe the area more or to observe it well. Okay, and then another one is when patrol officer is assigned to a motorized beat, okay, the officer should as often as practical, okay, park and lock his car and go out on the street and meet people. So, hindi ibig sabihin na kapag naka-automobile patrol ka is hindi ka nalalabas doon ka lang magmamaneho and mag-iikot. Sometimes you should take a break, okay? Stop ka muna. You should stop for a while and then you should communicate or meet with other people, okay? Or you should be in contact also or make time to be in contact with the public, okay? So that is one thing that you should consider if you will be assigned in automobile patrol. Okay, officers should be equipped with portable radios. It's very important kasi kayo yung mag-serve as backup. Okay, kayo yung responder just in case merong niradyo sa inyo yung mga kasama ninyo na naka-on foot. Okay, so you should be equipped with that radio and you should at all times, okay, monitor or you should be alert on those things na iraradyo sa inyo. Okay, so that is for automobile patrol. Another one, let's try to have here one by one the advantages. So it enables quick response to calls for police assistance. That is true. And yun nga lang sometimes paano kung traffic. So kung minsan since marked vehicle naman kayo, meron kayong siren. So kung minsan iniiwasan kayo, I mean pinapahintulutan kayo or pinagbibigyan kayo ng mga private private vehicles, okay, or public vehicles na nandun sa kalsada. So at least with that, makakapag-responde kayo agad. Pero meron yung times na talagang block yung kalsada. Walang madaanan. So pinaka-importante rin dyan yung role ng motorcycle patrol. Naka-motorcycle patrol. Okay, and it provides officers some degree of protection. So ito yung sinasabi ko kanina with regards to motorcycle patrol. So, they have no degree of protection from assault. Diba? Kapag naka-motorcycle ka, hindi mo alam, mamaya meron palang dyan. Riding in tandem, puputukan ka ng baril. So, agad-agad tatama sa iyo yan. You're madali kang matarget. Pero as to if you're in mobile patrol, then at least it provides a degree of protection from criminal assaults and at the same time, inclement weather, okay, tag-init man or tag-ulan. Okay, another one, we are going to have here also the disadvantages. So as to the disadvantages, officers becomes physically isolated from the citizens on the beat. So walang physical contact with the community. So it's very important, kanina yung nasabi, you should stop, okay, make a stop and then you should talk or meet with the community. Another one, patrol officer loses the ability to communicate freely with the people since you are somewhat isolated with the citizens. And then not be able to effectively detect subtle characteristics in the surroundings which may suggest criminal activity, especially yung mga nasa eskinita or sa masisikip na lugar. So hindi mo yan makikita if you are on automobile patrol. So usually na nakikita mo lang is kung ano yung nandun sa kalsada and then yung sa gilid ng kalsada. Pero as to those, what is inside, what's going on inside a building, sometimes hindi mo makikita. So that is a disadvantage of automobile patrol. Okay, another methods of patrol is the so-called waterborne patrol or marine patrols. So this is usually conducted by those assigned on the maritime group. Okay, used for law enforcement. Okay, aside from that, search and rescue, especially typhoons, and security operations in municipal and inland waters. Okay, as to law enforcement, pinaka-popular na pinaka-common na in-enforce nila with this is yung law natin on fisheries. Okay, so paggamit ng dinamita, they should also take a look on those kind of situations, yung mga pinagbabawal or mga illegal na gawain on our inland waters. Another one here is airborne patrol or helicopter and fixed-wing aircraft patrols. Okay, so PNP air unit uses aircraft to provide aerial support to police units. Okay, on the ground through surveillance, air surveillance, or spotting during pursuit operations against criminals. So it's very effective in napakaraming gamit nito. So it's very effective in apprehension of criminals. Pero not only that one. Okay? Ginagamit din this type of patrol in surveillance, okay? Or in monitoring, okay? Yung mga drug plantations, okay? Or taniman ng mga marijuana, especially doon sa mga area na malalayo, okay? Katulad na lang ng mga provinces, okay? Somewhere in Cordillera, mga ganun, yung mga mapubundok na hirap talagang puntahan. So with that, with the use of this kind of patrol, then you could at least monitor, okay? You could survey or you could provide surveillance on those areas. Makita nyo kung meron bang illegal na ginagawa on that area, okay? Or yung mga kuta ng mga rebelde, okay? So it can be also used in tactical deployment of specialized units such as snipers, okay? In the conduct of or in apprehension or in dealing maybe of hostage taking situations and others. Okay, and then ginagamit din in public service or in rescue operations. Okay, airborne patrol or helicopter patrol and fixed wing aircraft patrols na mga to. Okay, and then we have here the K9 patrol. Okay, so used primarily for search purposes itong K9. Okay, and to detect contraband and to track down missing wanted persons. So, meron lang lately din yung binabalita, meron silang tinitrain na mga aso, okay, to detect COVID-19. Okay, COVID-19 or yung virus. So, we don't know kung meron talagang capability ang mga K9 na ito in detecting those ones. Pero as of now, as to the main use of K9 patrol, okay, that is purposely for detecting contrabands, okay, mga bomba, okay, or to track down missing wanted persons. And then we have here also should not be used in connection with routine patrol activities or in crowd control and riot situations. Hindi ibig sabihin na yung mga aso gagamitin ninyo sa mga riot. So it is not advisable in the protocol of the operational procedures, patrol operational procedures of the PNP, that is not encouraged or that is not allowed. Okay, so you never use those in dealing with crowd control. Baka mamaya dadalhin niyo yung K9 patrol, K9 or mga aso ninyo, then you are going to use it to intimidate yung mga participants ng mga rally na yun or mga riot na yun. Okay, so it's not advisable. Okay, so mas maganda, mas maiging gamitin dyan yung mga tear gas and others. Okay, yung help ng Bureau of Fire and Protection and others. So never use yung K9 patrol. Okay, so those are the methods of patrol. So let's try to compare the one-man patrol versus the two-man patrol. So ano bang mas maganda or ano yung disadvantage and advantages nito? So it says here two-man patrol reduces the area which a given number of patrol personnel can be expected to cover. So this might be one of the disadvantage. Okay, but as to the next one, officers assigned to the two-man patrol are not as attentive to their surroundings as are one-man patrol units. So somewhat is also a disadvantage on two-man patrol. Pero hindi naman sa lahat. Okay, kasi kung minsan meron yung porket dalawa kayong magkasama, sometimes nagiging dependent na kayo sa isa't isa. Hindi bali, meron naman akong kasama. So, parang inaasan nyo na lang sa kasama, hindi nyo alam, yung kasama nyo pala, ganun din yung isip. So, that serves as a disadvantage. So, hindi sana ganun yung mentality or mindset ninyo kapag ikaw ay nasa body patrol. You are in a two-man patrol. Okay? And then another one, emphasis is given on the safety factor involved in having more than one officer present at potentially hazardous situations. However, it is very critical. Kasi ang hirap mawalan or mamatayan ng police officer. So, it's really encouraged the two-man patrol. Even though na merong disadvantages, pero it depends naman upon the police officer yan. Okay, mentality of the police officer. So 2-man, it's really important to provide also security or safety factor din yan. Provide safety factor to the police officers. Okay, so at least meron silang katulungan. So that is the comparison, or that could be the best ones that are commonly observed in 1-man patrol and 2-man patrol.